Hi everyone. I've put together a few videos for you to do whilst I'm on maternity leave. This one is focusing very much on the core and balance, so lots of ab work, quite a workout, so I hope you enjoy it. I've got my lovely sister demoing for me today because I can't really do very much at the moment. So we'll make a start. So start by lying down on your backs, bringing the soles of the feet together and allowing the knees to flop out to the sides. And resting the hands away from the body with the palms facing up. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Moving the jaw from side to side as well. Just check that you're not holding any tension around your jaw. And close the eyes. Try and release the whole of your body into the mat. So you're allowing the ground to fully take your weight. We'll then take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you exhale, release, sigh out. Think of getting rid of everything that you don't need that's been building up throughout your day. And as you exhale, think of melting that little bit further into the mat. And when you've done your 3 breaths, seal your lips and then start to breathe in and out really deeply through the nose. Each inhale, think of creating more space. And with each exhale, melting a little further into the mat. And keeping that deep, long, strong breath going throughout your practice. In and out through the nose, unless you're emptying out, and then I'll cue it. And start to blink open your eyes and extend your legs to the ceiling for happy baby. Grabbing the outside edges of the feet and bending the knees in towards your armpits. So if that's too much, you can always hold underneath your thighs, so by your knees. Remembering that the most important thing is you've got that length in the spine. So you're pressing down through the tailbone and through the shoulder blades. And then if you want to, you can rock gently from side to side just to release out your lower back. Then release your feet and extend your legs to the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind your head. Start with some abs. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Press lower back into the mat and then scoop up the tailbone slightly. Exhale, curl the head and shoulders up. Pull the belly button into spine. Squeeze your inner thighs together and hold for 5, 4, lift the shoulder blades up more. 3, nice. 2, 1, inhale, release. Hold the breath. Press lower back down, lift the tailbone. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Pull belly in, squeeze the inner thighs, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, release. Hold the breath. Press lower back down, lift the tailbone. Exhale, curl the head and shoulders up. Squeeze the belly button in, squeeze your inner thighs, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, release. Let's do one more. Hold the breath. Press lower back down, lift the tailbone. Exhale, curl the head and shoulders up. Pull belly button to spine, squeeze your block. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, release. Well done. Now lengthen the legs along the mat, reach the arms above the head and give yourselves a nice big stretch. And breathe deeply into your tummy. So expand your tummy so that you're stretching the abs. Nice loose. Then hug underneath your knees, curl up into a little ball and then start to rock and roll along your mat. So you're inhaling as you rock up, so using your core, exhaling to rock back. So just getting a bit of momentum, using your core, massaging out your spine. On your next inhale up, cross your ankles and make your way into tabletop position. So coming over onto all fours, making sure that your joints are stacked, so your knees are right underneath your hips, your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Now as you inhale, soften the belly, send your gaze forwards and arch your back. Exhale, send your gaze to your navel as you round into your cat. You're pushing the mat away. Inhale, lift the chest forwards, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, push the mat away. I'll start to move through a few more. So really moving with your breath. Easing into your body. And come back to a neutral tabletop position. Tuck your toes under and push up into downward facing dog. And start to bend one knee then the other. You're starting to paddle out the feet, maybe swaying the hips gently from side to side. Just taking your time, easing into the legs. And then bring the feet together and float the right leg up to the ceiling. Bend your knee and open your hips. So you're stacking the right hip on top of the left. Then circle the ankles, squeeze your heel towards your bum and look underneath your right armpit. So you're getting that lovely stretch along the right side of the body. Then inhale, float the leg back up. Exhale, place it down. Swap over. Inhale, float the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee and stack your hips. So again, just opening the hips. Circle your ankle, squeeze the heel towards the bum and look underneath the left armpit. Inhale, float the leg back up, and exhale, place it down. Then come up onto your tiptoes, bend the knees, take little baby steps to the top of your mat for your ragdoll. So feet are hip distance apart here, bending the knees as much as you need, and you're just flopping the upper body over the legs, catching opposite elbows and swaying from side to side. And releasing your grip. Inhale, lengthen, lift to your flat back. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back to your high plank and hold. So in your high plank, you're spreading your fingers, you're pushing the mat away with the hands. Your gaze is down towards the top of the mat, so look down a little bit. And you're puffing up through the shoulder blades, that's it. Lifting the belly and squeezing the thighs. Now lower down onto your right forearm and then onto the left. So coming into a forearm plank. Keep pushing the mat away through the forearms. And then you're going to dip the hips over to the left. Lovely. And then dip them back over to the right. So just working the obliques in your own time, moving with your breath, just swaying from side to side. Keep pushing the mat away so that you're doming that upper back. You're still lifting through the belly. Okay, one more on each side. Then come back up onto your high plank, one arm at a time. Lovely. Push the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Now step the right leg to the outside of the right hand. The left foot to the outside of the left hand into your malasana, your yogi squat. So you're bringing the bum down. You're pressing the elbows into the inner thighs. So you're lengthening through the spine, you're opening through the chest, you're sinking into the hips. Lovely. And then you can move gently from side to side here, so just swaying out the hips. Lovely. And then releasing the hands down to the mat. Start to straighten the legs, toe heel your feet together. So feet are together unless you need to separate them if you're pregnant. Or if you have any problems in your lower back. Inhale, lengthen, lift to your flat back. Exhale, fold forwards. Now tuck your chin in and slowly curl up vertebra by vertebra. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Now inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. So moving into our suns now. Inhale, lengthen, lift to your flat back. Exhale, hands down, step back to your high plank, hold. Lift the right leg up. So your feet are hip distance apart to help you balance here. The right leg lifts up, you're squeezing the right bit, you're just hovering that leg up, don't worry about getting it too high. Keep the shoulders stacked over the wrists, keep that belly button pulling in. One more big breath. Exhale, release the foot down, lower onto your knees. Hug the elbows into your waist, slowly lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale, slide the chest forwards and up to your cobra. You're pressing down through the tops of the feet. You're rolling the shoulders back away from the ears. So think of squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale and exhale, fold forwards, release down. Hands come back underneath your shoulders and you're tucking the toes, pushing straight back up into downward facing dog. And you have 5 deep breaths in downward facing dog. So remembering that if you need to, you can come up onto the tiptoes and bend the knees to help you push the hips up and back. So Lucy's got her hips quite far up and back away from the wrists already, so she doesn't need to worry about that. But remember that it's most important that you've got that length in the spine. Now inhale, come to your tiptoes. Exhale, bend the knees, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Chin to chest, curl up slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Inhale, float the arms up, active through the hands, spread the fingers. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step back to your high plank. Holding here, feet a hip distance apart. Left leg lifts up and hovers. Squeeze your left glutes, keep pushing the mat away with the hands. Keep that belly button pulled into the spine, lovely and strong loose. Now lower that foot down, lower the knees, hug elbows right in as you lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale, slide the chest forwards and up to your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips up and back. Again, 5 deep breaths here. And whilst you breathe deeply, think about your alignment. So your feet are hip distance apart. Your hands are as wide as your shoulders. Then bring your attention to your core. That belly button is sucking in towards your spine. And try not to dump down into the shoulders. Think of lifting up and out of the shoulders so that you're not collapsing down. That's going to help you prevent spreading your ribs. Now inhale, come to your tiptoes. Exhale, bend the knees, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Chin to chest, curl up. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, hands down, high to low plank. So moving a little quicker now, but moving with your own vinyasa. So Lucy's going to lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale into her cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. But if you know your vinyasa with your upward facing dog, then you can go for that. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, come to tiptoes. Exhale, bend the knees, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, bend the knees, sink the bum low and sweep the arms and the chest high. Lovely, so the weight is in your heels. You're squeezing the inner thighs together unless you need to separate the feet. Separate the feet if you have problems with your knees or your lower back, or if you're pregnant. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, can you sink a little lower? Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, can you sink lower? Nice, loose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, hands down, high to low plank. So moving through your version of vinyasa. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale slowly, like you're moving through honey, you're going to float the right leg up and back. So keeping that leg engaged as you float it back. Now exhale, bring your knee to your nose. So you're rounding the upper back, you're bringing your shoulders over the wrists, really working your core, drawing the belly button to your spine. By using your core, that's going to allow you to lightly step in between your hands now. Lovely. Keep squeezing your tummy as you reach the arms above the head. You come into your low lunge. Really squeezing belly in so that you get that balance. Hips are square to the front, so both hip bones shining towards the front. You're high up on the ball of the back foot and the back leg is as straight as you can get it. Lovely. Inhale, lift up out of your waist. Exhale, hands down, step back, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg floats up and back. Exhale, step in between your hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up, using your core. Lovely. And exhale, land in this pose. Keeping your high lunge loose. Lift up. So hips are square, that left knee is right over the ankle. Shoulders away from the ears and ribs are drawn in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands down, step back, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to tiptoes. Exhale, bend the knees, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, one breath this time. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep the arms up. Sink a little lower loose, and exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, hands down, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving a little quicker now. Inhale, float the right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose and then step lightly into your high lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands down, high to low plank. Keep the elbows hugging in as you lower. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg floats up and back. Exhale, step in between your hands. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, hands down, high to low plank. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Now you have 5 breaths. You can either stay in downward facing dog, you can come to a child's pose if you need, or if you want to work on your arms, you're coming into turbo dog. Lucy loves this pose. You're going to bend the elbows, hover them just a couple of inches above the mat. So you're going to hover them. That's it, lovely. And then really hug the upper arms in towards one another. So squeezing my hands. Lovely. So holding for another big breath. Amazing. And then back up to downward facing dog. It's a killer, but it's so good for your arms. And I'll bring your feet together and float your right leg up to the ceiling. Bend your knee and open your hips. Now come up onto, you can either stay there if you don't want to move into flip dog, or you're coming up onto your right fingertips, and then using your core, you're going to lightly place that foot down behind you into flip dog. Now Lucy needs to bring her left wrist slightly further in so it's stacked right underneath her shoulder. That's it. And then she's grounding down through the heels to push the hips up, opening through the chest. Gorgeous. One more big breath in, and exhale, rotate back, 3-legged dog. And inhale, lift up through the toes. Exhale, bend your knee, bring it into your nose. Then you're going to thread that knee, that foot, underneath the left arm into your fallen star. That's it. So reaching the left arm up, opening the chest, lifting the hips up. So this is working your core and your obliques. If you want to take it a bit further, you can lift the right leg off of the floor. Nicely. Pushing. Look at that. One more big breath. Exhale, come back to your high plank and move through your vinyasa. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And bring your feet together. You're floating the left leg up. Bend your knee and open your hips. Staying here, we are coming up onto your left fingertips. Slowly moving to flip dog. So really important that you set up a really strong base. So joints are stacked, your feet are hip distance apart. As you ground down through the heels, you're lifting the pelvis up. Think of opening the whole of the front of the body. One more huge breath in, and exhale, rotate back, three-legged dog. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend the knee, bring it into your nose, and then thread it underneath the right arm into your fallen star. So you're coming onto the outer edge of that right foot. You're lifting the hips up. You're reaching your right arm up and opening the chest. Lifting the hips up even more, trying not to push the hips back, keeping them in line. One more big breath. Exhale, release to your plank and move through your vinyasa. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. Take a big breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Now inhale, float the right leg up and back. Exhale, step in between your hands, come straight up into your high lunge. So high up on the ball of the back foot, reaching the arms above the head. Lovely. Now bring your hands to prayer. As you inhale, you're lifting through the spine. As you exhale, you're twisting to the right. The left elbow crosses over the outer edge of the right knee. So aiming to open the right chest, the right shoulder as much as you can. Opening up. And then relaxing the neck, so dropping the left ear down. As soon as you start to relax the neck, you'll feel your balance go, so keep that core pulled in, tightened. One more big breath. And exhale from there, open straight out into warrior two. So you're facing the left. Just taking a few moments to set up in your warrior two. So heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot, back toes pointing more to the front than the back of the mat. Make sure that the front knee isn't knocking in. If you feel it knocking in, you're pushing the left hip forwards to turn that knee out. Now flip your front palm, reach forwards, up and back, reverse your warrior. So you're dropping the left ear down to the left shoulder, so always think of relaxing your neck. Inhale into the right side of the body. Exhale, release forearm to thigh, extended side angle. So the left arm is reaching vertically to the ceiling, left fingers are spread really wide. Think of lifting up through that left arm so that you're not putting too much weight in that right forearm. Then you're reaching the left arm over the head, the diagonal. And the right arm is hovering up to meet it, so you're working on your core, your obliques here. Keep opening the chest, so rolling that left shoulder back, lovely adjustment loose. Squeezing the belly button to your spine, sink a little lower into your hips, nice. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, come back to your warrior two. Now flip your front palm, reach forwards, up and back, reverse your warrior. Then cartwheel the hands over, the left arm is coming down and the right arm's opening out into your simple twist. Lovely. So lift up and out of the left hand, open the chest. Now from here, come onto the outer edge of your right foot, your back foot, your left foot. That's it. And you're going to step into your side plank from here. So squeeze your tummy, stack your feet. If you need to, you can lower the left knee to the mat. Make sure your hips are in line. We have a tendency to let that top hip drop back. Make sure it's stacking forwards. Can you lift your hips up even more? Hold for 5. Maybe you raise the top leg. 4. Nice. 3, 2, and 1. Come back to your high plank and move through your vinyasa. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, the left leg lifts up and back. Exhale, step lightly in between your hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, land in your high lunge. Bring your hands to prayer. Inhale, lift up through the spine. Exhale, squeeze your tummy first and then twist to the left. The right elbow crosses over the outer edge of the left knee. With each inhale, lengthening the spine. With each exhale, twisting from your core and opening that chest that little more. So really getting the most out of that twist. One more big breath. And exhale, open out, warrior two. Ribs drawn in, belly button drawn in. Sink a little lower into your hips, nice. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Flip your front palm, reach forwards, up and back, reverse your warrior. So you keep bending into that front knee, nice. And soften the right ear down. Inhale into the left side of the body. Exhale, forearm to thigh, extended side angle. So your right arm reaches up to the ceiling, sinking into the hips, opening the chest and relaxing your neck. Drop the left ear down, nice. And reaching the right arm over the head, the left arm hovers up to meet it. Working on your core, keep opening, rolling that right shoulder back, nice. Hold for 5. Sink lower into your hips, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to your warrior two. Flip your front palm, reach forwards, up and back, reverse your warrior. Cartwheel the hands over, the right arm comes down, the left arm opens out to your simple twist. Open the chest, keep the hips square. Come onto the outer edge of the back foot, squeeze your core, step to your side plank. So your feet are stacked on top of one another, the wrist is underneath the shoulder, the right wrist. You're lifting the hips up. Hold for 5. Lift the top leg if you did so on the other side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to your high plank. Move through your vinyasa. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely. Big breath in. Full breath out. Now inhale to your tiptoes. Exhale, bend the knees. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Chin to chest, curl up slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to start with we're going to do a balancing sequence now. So I'm going to do level down, Lucy's going to do level up. You stay there and don't follow me because I'm doing a different leg. So you're grounding down through your left foot and you're picking your right foot up. So either, forwards, yeah. So either you're holding onto your knee, or as Lucy's going to do, you're going to interlace your 2 peace fingers around your big toe. So either staying here, you can have your other hand on your hip to balance. If you want to, you can extend that leg. So Lucy's going to extend the leg forwards. Lovely. So keep pulling up that standing leg wherever you are. Keep lengthening through the spine. And then from here, either opening the hip out, just holding onto your knee, or Lucy's going to open the knee out. Again, squeeze that belly button into your spine. That's going to help you balance. You're pulling up that standing leg. And wherever you are, if your leg is lifted, you're going to bend the knee again. And then you're extending back to your warrior 3. Oops, sorry. I'll stop jumping in the way. So extending that leg back. Hands can either be down by that thigh, or they can be in prayer or reaching forwards, wherever helps you balance. Squeezing the right glute. Spreading the toes, that can help as well. One more big breath. It'd be by a wall, that helps as well. Yeah. One more big breath. Exhale, release, bring the feet together. And we're swapping over. You might need to come out a little bit. So left leg, either holding onto the knee or the toe. Squeeze your tummy in. If you want to, you can extend that leg forwards. Make sure you're pulling up the standing leg. Make sure you're not leaning back as well, so your chest is over your hips. Nice. And then extending out to the side, so you're opening the hips. Even if you've just got your hand on your knee, you can still open your hips. Spreading down through all corners of that standing foot, so really grounding down. And release the toes. Bend the knee, you're extending back to your warrior 3. Squeezing the left glutes, lifting that left leg. Belly button into your spine. One more big breath. And then exhale, release, forward fold. So feet are hip distance apart. You're going to interlace 2 peace fingers around your big toes. Lovely. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forwards. As you fold forwards, make sure you're really pulling up the quads. And the weight is further forwards than the balls of your feet. Relaxing the neck, dropping the crown of the head right down. Breathing deeply. And release your toes. Toe heel your feet together. Come to the top of your mat if you're not already there. Inhale, lengthen. Lift to your flat back. Exhale, hands down, high to low plank. Inhale to cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, the right leg lifts up. Now exhale, hug in, knee to your right upper arm. Inhale, drop the knee down to the right wrist. Exhale to the left wrist. Inhale, knee to left upper arm. Exhale, extend it back. Well done. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knee to right upper arm. Inhale, knee to right wrist. Exhale to left wrist. Inhale, left upper arm. Exhale, extend it back. Well done. Inhale, lift up through your toes. Exhale, step in between your hands, opening straight out into your warrior 2. So facing the left. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. Now straighten your front leg. Tilt the hips up and back. Reach forwards and down to your triangle pose. So the back of the right hand rests slightly on the right shin. And you're opening the chest. Spread your left fingers. Now reach the left arm behind the lower back. The right arm is going to reach forwards. But here you're working on your core. So keep that leg straight. So reach the right arm forwards. That's it. So you keep opening through the chest. You think of length in the right side of the body. You're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knee. Come back up to your warrior 2. Straighten your front leg and turn all 10 toes to the left. That's it. So heels are slightly further out and the toes are in. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hinge forwards. So coming into your wide-legged forward fold. So you can stay in your flat back with your hands on your hips, or you can release the hands down to the floor, or they can come to the outside edges of the ankles. Keep really pulling up the quads so you can release the hamstrings safely and move the weight forwards into the balls of the feet. The more you bring your weight forwards, the more you'll feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Keep the spine long, keep breathing deeply. Now bend your knees, bring your hands to the mat. Walk them round to the inside of the right foot. So walk them round to the front, inside of the right foot for your lizard pose. So start by lowering the back knee down. Either staying up on the palms of the hands or you're lowering down onto your forearms. So you're sinking into the hips, but at the same time lifting through the chest so you're not hunching the back. And if you want to, you can tuck the toes under on the back foot, push up to your high lizard. Either stay still or you can rock gently forwards and back and take those little hip circles just to ease into the hips a little more. And release the knee down, come back up onto the hands. You're stepping into your high plank and holding there. You can lower the knees first if you need, otherwise we're hugging the elbows in, we're lowering down for the count of 5, 4, 3, push back up to 4, push down to 3, up to 4, down to 3, up to 4, down to 3, down to 2, and to 1. Well done, Luce. Very strong arms. Interlace your hands behind your lower back for your locust pose. Press down through the pubic bone, lift the chest and the thighs off of the floor. So you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. If you have the interlace, you're squeezing your palms together as well. Lifting the hands up and away from the body. Lovely. Keeping the neck long. One more big breath in. And exhale, release. Soften the right cheek to the mat. Let go of your grip. Give the hips a little wiggle from side to side. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push the hips up and back into downward facing dog. We've just got to do that on one more side, and then we're coming into our relaxation, our stretches. So inhale to float the left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee to left upper arm. Inhale, left knee to left wrist. Exhale to the right wrist. Inhale, right upper arm. Exhale, extend it back. Inhale, lift through the toes. Exhale, knee to left upper arm. Inhale, knee to left wrist. Exhale to the right wrist. Inhale, up to the right upper arm. Exhale, extend it back. Well done. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, step in between your hands, opening straight out into your warrior 2. Squeezing the core in. Straightening the front leg. Tilt the hips up and back. And then reach forwards and down to your triangle pose. So getting that length in the left side of the body. And you're opening the chest as much as you can. So the more you tilt your hips back before you go down, so the more you really push that, you get that length, and then you can release down. So you get that lovely length on the left side, you're opening the chest. Now release your right arm behind the lower back, the left arm reaches forwards, you're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knee, warrior 2. Straighten the leg. Bring the toes to the front and the hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hinge forwards. Really press into the outside edges of the feet. Bring the weight further into the balls of the feet, releasing the hands down if you want to, or releasing them around to the outsides of the ankles. So lovely long spine. So think of lifting the chest to get that long spine. And bend the knees, hands to the floor, walking them round to the inside of the right foot for your lizard pose, left foot, sorry. Lowering down onto the knee to start, and then you can either stay here or you're lowering onto your forearms. So sinking into the hips. And if you want to take it a bit further, you can tuck the toes and push up to your high lizard. And maybe you rock forwards and back. You take those little circles at the hips. And release the knee down, come back up onto the hands, step back to your high plank and hold. Lowering down super slowly for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, up to 3, down to 2, up to 3, down to 2, one more, up to 3, down to 2, down to 1. I can't tell if you're laughing or not breathing. So you can do a locust pose again, or you can come into bow pose. If you're coming into bow pose, you're bending up the feet, grabbing the outside edges of the ankles. Bow poses, you're pushing into the hands with your feet to lift the thighs off of the floor, to lift the chest off of the floor. Squeezing the inner thighs towards one another to try not to let them flare out. And then see what happens if you flex the toes towards the back of your mat. Does that help you to lift the chest a little more? Gorgeous, Luce. Okay, one more big breath. And exhale, release. Soften the left cheek to the mat. Let go of your grip. This time pick up the feet and then gently windscreen wipe them from side to side. And come to stillness, place the feet down. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and sides out. And from here, we're going to start to move into our stretches. So just roll over onto your backs from here. So just straight over onto your back. Bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Bridge pose. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, press the lower back into the mat and peel the spine vertebra by vertebra up off of the floor. So grounding down through the heels to lift the pelvis up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the upper back down first, then the middle, and then the lower back. One more of those. If you want to move into wheel, you can go for wheel, but she's just going to come up into another bridge pose. Another deep breath in. Exhale, press the lower back into the mat, peel the spine vertebra by vertebra up. Really squeeze the glutes, lift the hips up, press down through the heels. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the upper, middle, lower back to the floor. And bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to knock out to the sides. Place the left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And hug the knees into your chest. Give them a big squeeze, gently rock from side to side. And you can choose here an inversion that you'd like to take. So you can either rock forwards and back and lift up into a shoulder stand. You can just simply let your legs lift up towards the ceiling. If you're near a wall like Lucy, you could, in fact, can you show this? If you, you can place legs up the wall. So you bring your bum all the way up to the wall. So bring your bum to the wall. That's it. And just allow the legs up the wall. This is a really lovely pose, one to stay in for a long time if you want to. If you've been on your feet all day, just allowing the fluid to drain down from the legs, but you still get that feeling in your shoulder stand as well. This is just more relaxing. And if you're in your shoulder stand, you might want to release the legs over the head and come into your plow pose. And remember, if you don't want to come upside down, you can always take a happy baby again. You're just something with the legs up. If you're in your plow pose, starting to bring the legs back up and then slowly moving down, coming down onto your backs. So everyone meeting now in your back. So Lucy, if you come down back onto your mat. Then you're hugging the right knee into your chest. You're lengthening the left leg along the mat. Release the right leg over the left as you come into your spinal twist. So arms reach out to the sides. If you don't have much room, you can always cactus the arms. And you're looking over to the right, and you can use your left hand to guide the right knee over. You're pressing into the right shoulder, and you're breathing into the right side of the body. Really big, deep breaths. And coming back to center, swapping the legs over, lengthening the right leg down, hugging the left leg in, releasing over. Feel your spinal twist on the other side. So arms reach out, looking over to the left if that feels good. Relaxing all the muscles in your face and breathing into the left side of the body. One more big breath. And exhale, release. Come back to center for your final relaxation. Lengthen the legs along the mat. Allow the toes to flop out to the sides. Arms a little away from the body with the palms facing up. You're staying in your Shavasana for as long as you like. I'm just going to take one more big breath here. Sigh it out through the mouth. Please feel free to pause the video now and take your time. Otherwise, you're reaching the arms above the head, giving yourselves a lovely deep stretch as if you've just woken up. And you're hugging the knees into your chest, giving them a squeeze. And rolling over onto one side, whichever side feels most natural to you. Come into a fetal position. And taking as much time as you need to come up to a seated position at the top of your mat with your hands in prayer. Closing the eyes, taking a big breath in through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. And bring your thumb knuckles to your forehead center. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed that. It's a good one for your core. Please feel free to take as much time as you need in Shavasana before getting on with the rest of your day.